everyone!
Hi.
We're back with a new episode of What a K-Drama. I'm Kathleen.
My name is Ilse.
And we're back with a new episode full of movie recommendations. Because 2021, there's been a few movies out,
Surprisingly, a whole lot.
I think people was like, what else can we do? Let's film movies and dramas. Because what else is to do? You know what I mean?
I think in 2020, people were starting to get used to COVID.
Yeah.
Filming with COVID. So
Yes.
they're like, let's get this cracking again.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
No, me neither.
No. It's gonna perfect because what else can you do, you know?
So tired.
The options are limited these days.
Very true.
Well, let's start because we have to go through a few.
Yeah, quite a few actually. So basically, the type of movies that we're gonna take a look at is everything that was released from January to June of 2021.
Yeah.
And I took a look at the numbers of the box office. We're gonna have some couple of recommendations, stuff that we've seen ourselves as well.
Yeah.
I've seen so many movies this week.
I seen just a couple.
So tired.
But the thing is that most of the movies that were out that were the top movies, they were either action thrillers, probably something with terror, and it's not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? So
I was having the time of my life. Okay.
I know. I just don't like that kind of movies. Well, if people is being listened to us, they know that I'm in charge of fluffy stuff. Cute, fluffy romance, rom-coms, that's my thing.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple though.
We have.
So let's take a quick look at the top 5 box office films. So the highest grossing film in the first weekend was Hard Hit.
Okay.
That one I haven't seen yet, and I was so frustrated that I could not find it anywhere because it looks so cool.
Okay.
It reminds me a little bit of this film because pretty much everything takes place in one car.
Oh.
And it's just everything that surrounds it, right? So there's this father and his daughter are in the car together. They get a call that there's a bomb under the seat.
I think I saw that. I think I saw the trailer
looks
for that.
so good.
Yeah.
It's on my list. As soon as I find it, I'm watching it. I don't care if it's subbed or not. I need to see it.
Yeah.
So Hard Hit was the highest grossing film.
Yeah.
After that, we have Sobok.
Yes.
Which we've seen.
We watched it.
Which was Pagugum. Good, but also not.
Well, we're gonna go into detail later, so
okay.
Yes.
Keep on listening then. After Sobok, we have Waiting for Rain, which you've seen.
Waiting for Rain, I watched. Yeah, we're gonna go in depth with that one later.
It's literally the only romantic story in the top 5.
It's not really romance. It's a slice of life drama. It's I love it. I really, really like that movie. But we're gonna go into details later. So
okay.
Which one was on the top 5?
After that one we have Recalled.
Okay. Did not watch
so cool. So interesting. Love it so much. And then the last one is Mission Possible, which I've also seen, and that was so unexpectedly, though.
So do you think all the movies that were at the top 5 so far, did they deserve the spot in the top 5? At least the ones you watched. Because I'm sure Waiting for Rain, 100%.
Yeah. No, I do think that part of the plot and the actors that are involved, I think, for example, Recalled and Mission Possible, very solid films.
Okay.
Very different stories.
Yeah.
But they do deserve that spot in the top 5.
I do believe that Waiting for Rain also was a beautiful story, very well done. The film was stunning. So okay, let's start this.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a quick recap of each top 5 film, plot, what we thought about the film itself, and then we'll go into the further recommendations per genre.
Yes.
So the first one is Mission Possible.
Yeah.
That is an action comedy film written and directed by Kim Hyung-jo, based on the Mission Impossible series.
Like in the American series?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have Secret Agent Da-hee, played by Lee Sun-bin, and an ex-special agent, present private detective Soo-han, played by Kim Young-won. So funny. unexpectedly so funny because you think you're watching like this very serious film about like spies and undercover agents.
Well, if you see the based on or inspired by, you will think like, I imagine a dude doing what Tom Cruise did, like,
No.
missions and stuff. Get this treasure from somewhere, stuff like that.
Not at all, because you see him in the beginning as like a private investigator, but like failed, struggling to pay rent, private investigator.
Okay.
Who's a Revelov, hard stan of Red Velvet, by the way.
That is wholesome. Okay.
At one point, he has to fight this Russian dude who's also a fan of Red Velvet.
Oh my god.
And it's like, Yeri Solgi. And then it was so funny. He's like doing a whole bunch of fights in like a Red Velvet t-shirt.
So he's working in Red Velvet merch?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So incredibly funny, and the jokes are well done, well placed. Sometimes the most random times, like you see this like actual undercover agent trying to save a baby. He does it with like a super cool flip, like he looks like a superhero.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, Vada Death shows up.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's honestly brilliant, amazing, loved it. If you like action at all, give it a chance because mwah, amazing.
So it's an action comedy, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
Okay. Oh yeah, it says in the description. Action comedy. So sorry, but I am kind of lost. Okay, fair enough.
Are you not paying attention to me?
Apparently I'm not. Okay.
The next one is Sobok.
We both watched that one together.
Yeah, it's a sci-fi action film directed by Lee Young-ju. And we have the actors Gong Yoo and Park Bo-gum, who play an agent of the intelligence agency and a human clone, basically.
Yeah.
It's
an interesting... Okay,
I was a bit disappointed, not gonna lie.
Me too, because the cast, it is incredible. Let's just start just with that. But I think that the story could have taken a different turn, and it could have been played differently, if you know, because they had an interesting plot. They did have, and also the acting was fantastic.
Yes. I do wish that the story had been a bit more fleshed out.
Yeah.
That they had clearer character development.
Yes.
Because Gongju's character, I kind of could see his character development.
Yeah.
But it still felt a bit like too shallow, in my opinion.
The thing is that his character was rather complicated, and I think that the story could have gone more in depth with his struggle, with his past, and how did he end up where he was whenever he had like his last mission was saving Sobok.
You know what also bothered me?
What?
It's the women dying for the character development.
Oh, that was another thing.
There were literally 2 women in the movie. Spoiler alerts, by the way. They both died to develop the other character more. It's like, at least, give us something.
I think
Bechdel test passing, it's not,
Well, it did pass the test.
Did it?
It did, because they were talking about like science stuff, especially like the scientists.
Wow.
But I think that they could have gone more in depth with that, because it was an awesome story. It was like sci-fi.
Very good. CGI amazing as well.
Incredible. The acting, I was just shook with Purple Gum's acting. It was so good. The struggle, the feelings.
Also his like awe at the smallest things, because he was very sheltered and he basically grew up in a lab. And when you take him outside of that situation for the first time, he's like...
Everything was
so intrigued by like fish at the market,
Everything was too new for him. And then I think that they also could have explored that a bit more,
Yeah.
So overall, Sobok, it is... It's
good.
It's good.
It's interesting to watch.
Yeah.
They could have gone a bit deeper.
I think we just expected more, because it had like big names. The trailer looked amazing.
Yeah.
And we just expected more. I think that was the issue for us. That we expected a lot more.
Yeah. I guess our expectations were a bit high.
Yeah, because, you have Gonja and Purple. They are like top actors,
It's still a solid story.
It is.
Would I rewatch it? Probably not.
Same. It's same. I wouldn't rewatch it.
That's not a great recommendation.
I mean, if you are not, the thing is that, let's keep this in mind. We consume a lot of content, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
We know like actors, we know a bit of like everything. We watch like a ton of content, okay?
Yeah.
And I think we just expected a lot more because of the cast, because we've seen previous works with the cast and all of that. But if you just want to watch a sci-fi movie that is super cool, out there with a different story. Also, it gave me a feel of like, wasn't the Netflix series that we thought I was kind of, it felt like kind of, it had the same vibe. The one with the 5 kids, what's the name? The Stranger Things. So it kind of reminded me of it.
That's because Park Bo-gum looked like 11.
Oh, yes. And if you like that, look, I'm sure you're going to like that too. Okay? So, yeah, that's it for Starbuck. I mean, solid acting and a sci-fi story. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
Yes.
Recalled.
Yeah.
Is a mystery thriller film directed by So Yoo-min. Sojun is played by So Ye-ji from It's Okay to Not Be Okay.
Yes.
Amazing actress. She's involved in an accident, loses her memory, and she kind of has to figure out who she is, but she also keeps seeing stuff happening in the future, which is an interesting twist that I've never seen before in like amnesia films.
So she loses her memory and then she gains powers.
I wouldn't necessarily call them powers. It's just she gets like glimpses of the future.
That sounds like a superpower to me.
She can't really do anything with it. You know what I mean?
Well, who can? It's like whatever is meant to happen is going to happen regardless.
Yeah. But this was such an interesting film. Like, it threw me for such a loop. Like, I was expecting, like, okay, this and this and this is going to happen. He's a good guy. He's a bad guy. But no. It was so intriguing. Like, you think that you know where the story's going. And then totally not where the story is going.
Okay.
And then she also starts seeing things. Like, she's had a very traumatic past, right?
Okay.
And she starts seeing like these like other girls, like a young child and then a kid somewhere in her teens, but she doesn't realize that that is sort of her memory of herself at that age.
Oh, wow.
And then by following the girls at one point, she starts seeing what happened in her life, like recalling her memory.
Okay.
And it was such an intriguing way of dealing with things. Like, it wasn't just like a flashback. It was her experiencing the things that happened in her life for the first time. They brought that to the screen so well. It was so interesting.
Let me see if I get this. She was having like visions.
Yes.
And she was like living them visions, but it wasn't real. It was everything in her head.
Kind of.
That sounds very complicated.
Really visions. Say, for example, you see a girl here in front of me. I decide to follow that girl.
Okay.
We go into a room.
Why do you follow the girl? Never follow the ghost. Never.
At that point, you don't know.
It's still your random, you know, you mind your business.
Look, sometimes you want to be a good person and help a child out, but you know, you end up seeing stuff from your past.
I refuse to follow anything that randomly shows up in front of me. And so it's like,
if you're a child and you're looking for help, don't go to Kathleen.
It's different going for help, but imagine having this ghostly looking kid in front of you.
But they look like normal kids.
Oh.
Like, they're not like ghosts or anything. They look like a solid,
normal
flesh. Blood and flesh child, you know?
Okay.
Super interesting.
Okay.
If you like stuff like Memento, whatever, watch it. Because it's super cool. Really well done. The performances are amazing. Okay. And it's just edge of my seat kind of movie. You know?
Ooh, nice. Okay.
All right. Next up is a hard hit. The one I haven't seen yet, but I want to so badly.
So tell me about the plot. What's the plot? What's the plot about?
It's a thriller film directed by Kim Chang-joo.
Okay.
A head of a bank center in Busan, Song-gyo, played by Jo Woo-jin, goes to work in his car with his daughter Hee-jin, played by Lee Jae-in, and she gets a call on her phone that there's a bomb under her seat which will explode if you get out of your car. Now, of course, they don't immediately believe the caller because it's like a blank number.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, I'll prove that I'm legit. And so the car in front of them blows up.
Oh, wow.
So they have to like,
So whenever, just wait for the review if we ever get to watch it, because we
I
want
saw the
to.
trailer, it looks so good.
It does. Even I watch it and I think it looks amazing. It's not my kind of movie. It sounds like a thriller. Okay? Okay. So we're going forward, waiting for rain.
Yes.
So give me the details.
Okay. So this is a drama film directed by George and Mo, written by Yo Sung-hyuk. It's a romance between Young-ho, played by Kang Han-ho, and So-hye, played by Chun Woo-hee, who have yearned for each other for a long time but could not meet due to certain circumstances. Intriguing. Tum, tum, tum.
I cannot disagree with that.
I pulled this plot from Wikipedia, so don't at me.
Okay, that's right. So I think the movie it's a lot more than that, because it's not like they yearn for each other, they're just reconnecting. It's not like I want you back in my life.
Well,
no kind of that.
From what you told me, he kind of wants to meet her. Like,
but she didn't remember him. So it's sort of like lovely story.
Are you gonna give this the
I'm not
twist?
No. No.
Okay.
Not spoiler it, because I feel like the plot twist in this movie is such a lovely moment that I just don't want to take that away from viewers.
It sounds frustrating when you told me, to be fair.
It's not you're gonna watch it now. It's not you're gonna watch it.
I might!
You won't.
Probably not now, but
So I think this movie was beautifully played. Also, it's like a slice of life. These two people just regular lives. They're trying to like deal with everything, their future, also the place where the period where it's situated is sort of like this era where technology was like taking over.
The early 2000s.
Kind of, like early 2000s, where like
late 90s.
Yeah. Where there's this scene with the dude that has like this kind of a razor phone, the one that were like
the flip phones.
The flip phones.
Nice.
And then he was like mind blown by that. And I was like, oh my God. And
I remember my first flip phone.
So it's sort of like lovely to watch it. And it's such a candid film. Wholesome. There's very wholesome. It talks about like family, about, healing and all of that. And it's done in a very realistic manner. And I love the filming, how the stories were well described. The character development was awesome. Like you could see the characters growing, just enjoying whatever they were doing. Also, the dude had like this little workshop, and it was so nice to see. He had like this umbrella workshop, and I just loved that so much. It was so pretty. And the girl had like this bookshop magazine shop, and it
sounds
was
like a dream.
Yeah, so it was a very wholesome film, and I will heavily recommend to like just watch it if you like slice of life drama.
If you're into like lovey-dovey stories, I guess.
It's not lovey-dovey story. There is a bit of like cute stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But it's not like at your face, like take the love. It's very implicit. Everything is very softly narrated, and I liked it. I really, really liked it.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, the filming style is just my style. Those ones where it's like very intimate, the colors, it's very like warm. That kind of filming style. I love this.
Yeah, I couldn't say that for my films. No,
mine are they're very aesthetically pleasing. Okay.
Nice. All right, let's go to recommendations.
Okay.
These are, I haven't seen all of them.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the like thriller, but like the scary thrillers, not watching those. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah. No.
So from like the trailers I've seen, I would recommend watching Hypnosis and Whispering Corridor 6, The Humming. With the Whispering Corridor 6 is only like just coming out, so technically it's maybe not within the 6 months, but I'm just telling you for the future,
Okay.
It looks intriguing.
Okay.
I might just even watch it in like the middle of the afternoon with all the lights open. Just for the acting, obviously.
Sure.
For crime, I recommend taking a look at Asuraro, because it's like in a jail, and there's a new head of the jail I guess.
Okay.
How do you call that? Like a CEO? Jail
Like
CEO?
the head of the jail.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be like a chief or something.
I guess. There's a new chief in town. Yeehaw.
Wow, okay.
And he kind of, messes things up a little bit and things get tense.
Okay.
For rom-coms, recommend checking out Made in Rooftop and Sweet and Sour.
Sweet and Sour is the next. We watched that one actually, and it's got an interesting.
It's cute.
Twist. It's cute.
Easily
cute.
accessible, considering it's on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah. We thought it was problematic at first, but then but then the plot twist. We were like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
unexpected.
It's so easy to watch, people. It's so easy to watch.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like what, an hour and a half?
It's an hour and a half. It's not like you have to go in depth with everything. It's like easy to follow all of that,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. For action, I have 3 recommendations.
Oh my god, okay.
All right, so we have Slate, which is Western meets samurai meets comic book style.
Oh,
very cute, very fun, very indie.
Okay.
Great performances, very funny to watch. And like the action scenes, like there's like literal like sword fights.
Yeah.
Super interesting. Super well done. The lighting was very cool. The plot itself was very cool as well.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like, wow, I've never seen this before in my life, but still good enough with like proper character development.
Okay.
Very interesting. Very cute. If you were into action, take a look. It's like an hour and a half. It's not going to kill you,
Okay.
Then we have Space Sweepers, which is on Netflix as well.
We watched that one as
well. Very big.
Film.
Yeah.
It was it's like Guardians of the Galaxy. Loved it.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. Amazing. There were some things that I was like, ugh.
I liked it.
Yeah, I feel like they should have paid a bit more attention to like character development.
Look, I am a Son Joong-ki fan. I liked it. That's it.
I mean, it's a solid watch.
It is.
Did I like the ending? No.
I liked the diversity. They had presentation.
Yes.
And that was quite
nice.
good. Yeah.
That was very nice. And then the last one for action is Pipeline, which was so interesting. A lot darker than what I expected from the trailer.
Okay.
That was very like deceptive. Because when you see the trailer, you're like, oh, it's a comedy. Cool, action comedy, great. It's not. It's not comedy at all. I wouldn't say it's funny.
Okay.
They are getting beat up a whole lot.
Oh, wow.
But it's very interesting. I know I've said that a lot about a lot of films, but it's about like these diggers into like oil pipes.
Okay.
And they start a new project for this like shady CEO. As soon as you see a CEO on those like Segway type thingies,
don't trust.
They're bad.
Yeah.
Don't trust at all. So yeah, they start working for him. Things get very tense because they can't leave for a month, and like sometimes life just.
For a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
He very evil. Very evil. He's very shady plans. But yeah, it's well put together. It's solid. Great performances as well. So yeah, definitely recommend.
Okay.
It was very cool. Now, for drama.
That's a long list.
I know. But all the trailers look so good.
Okay.
You're So Precious to Me is about a guy who starts taking care of a deaf and mute girl.
Okay.
And he has to take care of her for like a certain period of time. And things are all a bit shady. But it looks so wholesome.
Okay.
Very cute. Aloners looks interesting as well. Happy Children. Very much based on like child acting.
Okay.
Which is, I think it's going to be a very interesting watch. Way Back Home as well. I've seen.
Okay.
Sad hours, man. Sad hours. It's about an orphan who is studying to become like a childcare, and she starts helping a prostitute out with her newborn, basically.
Yeah.
And, they're all struggling, whatever. It's not very funny. It's very much a drama, but it's so well done.
Right.
The characters are interesting. Everything is very, like, three-dimensional. And the lead actress in that film, she's so good.
Okay.
Next up is Young Adult Matters. I've seen it. It's with Hani from EXID. Should have been 20 minutes shorter, in my opinion. Because that was 2 hours and 7 minutes long. And I was just like...
I can tell you guys that I listened to a little rant about this movie.
It's dark. Okay, it's very dark.
Yeah, by what you said, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, a lot of trigger warnings for, like, sexual assaults, suicide, talks of abortion, everything.
Okay.
So, watch the trailer. The trailer is a bit deceptive. Read the plot and then see if you want to get into that. Next one, Fighter. I wanted to see so badly, but again, no subs, because indie films need more recognition online, okay? It looks so interesting. Dustman as well. It's about a homeless person who makes like art in the dust on cars.
Oh, I think I've seen the trailer for that.
It looks so cool. Then we have Three Sisters, which I love. Like the intrigue and all the shade and struggles between sisters, because I have 3 sisters myself, daily life. Really. Then there's Go Back, which is a trigger warning for anything to do with children. It's dark. It's about a social worker and a police agent, and there's a child being abducted, and it's a very layered film. It's a very interesting watch, though. So if you like that kind of content and you're okay with like children portrayed as abused and stuff, then definitely go check that out. Then the next film, I Don't Fire Myself, looks so interesting. Basically, this woman is being reassigned from an office to this group who work in like the electricity poles, like the very, very tall ones.
Yeah.
And she has to like learn how to work them.
Okay.
Because the company is like very close to being bankrupt and she doesn't want to lose her job. Basically.
Okay.
Black Lights. Very intense. It's about a car accident where one person is in a coma for like 2 years, the other one passed away. And basically the 2 women of the guys that were in the cars.
The wives.
Yeah, the wives. They are blaming each other, blaming the other driver. Yeah. It's very dark, very emotional.
Okay.
Could have used a bit more oomph, because the first 40 minutes I was like, what am I watching? You know?
Yeah.
And then the last one I want to recommend for drama is A Distant Place, which is a BL. Which is interesting enough. Are there any films that you want to recommend?
I watched The Box. I think many people will know that one because Samuel from EXO is there. The movie it's basically a musical. I liked it. I mean, if you want to see how talented Samuel is, just watch that movie. And if you are an EXO-L, it's a must watch because boy is extremely talented. And it's kind of a cute story. It's like he having like PTSD and overcoming his stage fright, all of that. Very wholesome. Love the covers. So if you're into musicals, amazing covers, go watch it.
What kind of covers are there?
Oh, they have like a few from Western artists.
Okay.
So it's like well-known songs, like Coldplay is there and stuff like that, like very well-known songs.
Of course, Coldplay is in there.
And then I have a Double Patty, which is, a lot of people know that one because Red Velvet's Irene, that was her like debut. That one was a slow-paced movie. I would have loved more character development, but again, I have high standards, okay, like very high standards. And then I just would have loved more character development. I wanted more background, more story. I mean, easy watch. It goes very fast. Kind of cute. Pretty much it.
That doesn't dig very deep.
No, I would have loved that if that had, because they were both like young adults struggling. You know, they were like trying to make their careers work. All of that. They have like the past or whatever. I would have loved if they had gone more in depth with the past, because you need your past to be to like where you are now, right? And your decision and all of that. So they could have explored that, and I think I was missing that in that film.
Yeah.
But over that, it's an easy watch. I mean, beautiful people there. Like for real, they're just stunning. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Let's talk about movies that we're excited about that are coming soon.
Yes.
Second half of 2021, baby. So we have Sinkhole, which looks super interesting, about a literal sinkhole with like an apartment block.
Oh, yes. I've seen the trailer for that one.
Good.
It looks amazing.
Then we have Plant Cafe Warmth, which is very much an indie film about like a healing story.
It sounds like another movie we watched, that seasonal movie about the cooking one. What's the name? The cooking one that was like very warm, when she was like cooking a lot of recipes and everything.
Little Forest?
Little Forest.
Yeah.
It sounds like Little Forest.
Healing through food and coffee. I love it. Basically my daily life. Then there's I Can Only See, which is a horror comedy.
Okay.
Looks
horror comedy.
Yeah, honestly.
What a mix.
I don't know how it works.
Okay.
But I'm sure that it does, because the trailer looks amazing.
Okay.
Then there's The Gossip, which is very promising, I think.
Okay.
I'm very intrigued about the plot there. Then there's Midnight, which is going to be released June 30th.
Yeah.
So that was like last week.
That was last week.
But I couldn't find it anywhere yet, so.
We can, it's not out. And also, the indie cinemas where you can actually watch them. They're close, people. They're close.
Yeah. And then there's 19, Everglow, and Miracle.
Okay.
And they all look super intriguing, and I'm kind of stoked. So
Yay!
Expect a lot of K-movie reviews.
Like a lot of movie reviews. We have to have, we have like a little marathon to kind of like recommend movies or
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah.
I
had a very long week. Okay.
I wasn't complaining about mine, because I like the movies I watch, but I think that a lot of like the top movies are very much thriller, action, terror, and that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Those I don't mind watching. It's just with like the dramas that sometimes it's a hit or miss. Yeah. Because you can have an amazing story, amazing actresses, but then sometimes the pacing is a bit off, or it just feels very slow. And once you start looking at your phone and TikTok, basically, it's very hard to, combine the two.
I think that happened with Double Patty for me, because I was like, I'm missing something that I do not quite know. I think I was like just missing that engaging that I completely had with Waiting for Rain. Yeah. Because everything connects, and even though it goes back and forth between past and present, it's just there. It's just, you know. So it was very engaging.
Well, editing is very important in the film.
Very important. Very important.
The last thing I want to mention is that with the movies I've seen so far, it's something that I sometimes miss with K-dramas is the women in these films were so interesting, dimensional, layered, not always great people. Like sometimes they're terrible. Yeah. But it's just that range is something that I sometimes miss in K-dramas.
Maybe you're not watching the right ones, because I've watched dramas where the representation, there is like well-written women and they're awesome. I think it's not because we have different genres here.
Maybe that's one of the only things that I find very frustrating with police dramas is usually there's only one woman on the team. Yeah. And that's it.
Okay.
Talking about you, Signal, still.
Well, that was it for this episode, guys. We hope you enjoyed these movie recommendations. And we'll see you next time with a new episode of Para K-Drama. Remember to follow us in like all our socials, the K-Meal, and go to thekmeal.com for movie reviews and drama reviews. And we'll see you next time. This was What a K-Drama. Bye-bye.